Okay, so in the beginning, Helena was really slow. She didn't know how to do one trick. She always dropped the yo-yo. She couldn't do that thing where you go like that and then you flip it.
She hit me side in the leg.
And she hit me side in the leg. It was a fail. But I mean,
and we all laughed at her.
Yeah. Well, Helena's learning has been getting better because last Friday she made a trick.
Yeah, she actually like tossed it up in the air and it was like.
My first significant event was playing yo-yo. I'll start off with my class essential question. It goes, what are some similarities and differences in science, math, and all perspectives? I chose this essential question because Dr. Chan was constantly talking about how yo-yo is all about physics and math, and how physics and math can be used as a really good model to learn yo-yo. And also how in physics and math one must be persistent and patient. I decided to apply a few tricks about the strings she had insisted were to improve handling on the yo-yo, and I could play yo-yo after struggling for what I'd say a long time. This was an example about how everything we do in our life has interconnections with so many other aspects of our world, and how sometimes we realize it and we make that connection, and sometimes we don't. The grade level essential question is why and how do I use models? This essential question best applies because learning yo-yo was about using math and physics as a model to learn something new, which directly answers the question of why to use models. When I was learning, I would use other classmates that were good at it and have them give me feedback on how I was doing, which was also another model. My significant event was learning to do a complete, proper push-up in health after 10 weeks in fitness. So, the class essential question was, how do I make sense of the world through health? I chose this essential question for the reason that being able to accomplish something that took so long was very gratifying, and it has much bigger context than in just fitness. For instance, making sense of our world is essentially using different models to put things into perspective. And perspective was what reaching this goal was about. Perspective determines one's perception, and this is what helped me reach this goal of being able to do a proper push-up. My grade level essential question was, why and how do I evaluate models? I chose this essential question because the evaluation of how I was able to complete a model of something that was challenging for me was very meaningful. I was able to evaluate a model of slow but constant progress towards an end result, and this is what happened when I reached my goal. I felt satisfaction in how I did something that was a personal struggle for me. It was also like I had beaten myself. I saw actual improvement in only my hard work, but persistent work. Okay, so for the homecoming dance significant event, I chose two essential questions. The first is, what is a model? I chose this because homecoming for me was an introduction to this life I'm going to be leading for the next 4 years. It's becoming familiar with the model that is American high school life. So I hope to have many more great memories and experiences like the ones that were created at homecoming. The second essential question was, why and how do I create models? I chose this essential question because the dance for me was not only about learning the model that is high school life, but creating my own models concerning my interaction and how I'll fit into this. For example, I had my own model when dancing, when engaging with others, and with who I talk to.
Let's get rich and buy our parents' homes in the south of France. Let's get rich and give everybody nice sweaters and teach them how to dance. Let's get rich and build a house on a mountain, making everybody look like ants. From way up there, you and I, you and I.
I got to spend homecoming with my fabulous friend Helena. and we basically just danced all night. And it was, in relation to the real world, I think it's one of the best things you can get. In comparison, as a model, I think they're trying to open us up to the best thing that you can get in life, which, it's a metaphor. It's not really like dancing is not the best thing you can get in life, obviously, but you know.
The next significant event is the E-Tech backpacking trip. I'd say out of all 4, this was probably the most significant for various reasons. The essential question I chose was, what is the relationship between interaction and change? Why? Well, I chose this essential question because the backpacking trip taught me about interacting with nature and the world around me, but also I realized a lot of things about myself as an individual, and I had the opportunity to get to know other people, like our leaders who actually went to college to be adventure guides, and it was a really cool experience getting to talk to them. So I got to talk to a lot of interesting people. I also got to know people that I go to school with better, and this again was a model between interaction and change, because you change the setting we're in and you change the way everyone relates to one another.
Far away, I wanna go far away to a new life on a new shoreline, where the water is blue and the people are new, to another island and another life. I was a little girl alone in my little world, who dreamed of a little home for me. I played pretend between the trees and fed my house gas barking leaves, and laughed in my pretty bed of green. I had a dream that I could fly